From Guitar in Sheffield. Welcome to my Folk Friend channel. This is where I'm going to be putting all my Celtic guitar tutorials for all you backing guitar enthusiasts out there. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to play along with jigs. Jigs are a very common Irish rhythm and they're also prevalent in Scottish music as well. The interesting thing about them is that they're a compound time signature, which means that instead of being in fours like in simple time signatures, their beats are arranged in blocks of 3. A jig rhythm goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So what you've got in each bar is 6 quavers. The number on the top of the time signature is how many of each type of note you have, and the number on the bottom of a time signature tells you how long those notes are. So if it were a 4 on the bottom, that would be crotchets, or quarter beats for the Americans. And if it's got an 8 on the bottom, then it's quavers, or 1/8 beats. When you hear a jig, they're pretty easy to recognise because they kind of go da-da diddly, da-da diddly, da-da diddly, or diddly 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 diddly. Jokes aside by people who say that all folk music sound like that, they're pretty easy to recognise. Here's an example of one. So you can hear it's like diddly 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 diddly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you'll notice when I do my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my foot is tapping away down there, and it's tapping on 1 and 4 because those are the dominant ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as we go through learning how to play this rhythm, you always want to keep your foot tapping. There's several reasons for that. One, it sounds good. It's nice to have a sort of good thudding rhythm to drive you along. Number 2 is if your foot is in time, then your brain is already coordinating a motion which is in rhythm with the beat of the tune, and that is also going to help your arm stay in time as well, because if you're moving one thing, you'll naturally sync up your other movements with that. So tapping your foot is top tip number 1. Always do it. It's really good practice. So this method is called da-da diddly. It sounds something like this. So you can hear it goes da-da diddly, da-da diddly, da-da diddly, da-da diddly, hence the name. So before we start even hitting the strings, we're just going to do down, up, 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 like that. That hand movement that I've just done, always changing direction, that's going to carry on always, regardless. And the trick to keeping your strumming sounding good and rhythmic is to hit the strings sometimes and other times miss the strings, but always keep that motion going. And that's going to be the kind of underpinning of this pattern. For all the demonstrations I do in this video, I'm going to be strumming on a G chord. So let's have a go at doing some strumming. What we're going to do, we're going to hit the first down, we're going to come back up silently, we're going to hit another down, and then we're going to hit an up and do two silent ones. So you've got down, down, up, 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 down, down, up. When you get good at that, the next thing to do is to hit the last two as well. And it's important that when you get to the end of the pattern, you go straight back in to the beginning. So it's not down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. You know, there's no gaps. It always goes straight back to the start of the pattern. So what you're going to aim for is down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. Just a few general strumming principles as well. You'll notice when I'm strumming these patterns, my whole arm from the elbow down is moving. I keep this arm fairly straight, and there's a flexibility in my wrist there. It's not completely floppy like a baran player or something like that, but you don't want to have robot arms. You know, you're not an automaton. You want to imagine that your arm's kind of like the bristles of a paintbrush. That's what my old violin teacher always used to tell me, and it's good advice. So yeah, your plectrum, I like to hold mine when I'm strumming this kind of thing, like that. Strictly speaking, that's not a very good way of doing it. A better way of doing it is to have your thumb across the front, like that. So your thumb is sort of at a right angle to the point of the plectrum, and then your index finger across the back, and then curl the others round comfortably. So your index finger is almost at the same angle as your thumb, but from the opposite side, if you like. So your index finger is going that way, and your thumb is going this way. Make sure that whichever chord you're playing, you hit the root note loudly. So in the case of G, my bottom E string is the most important note in that chord. Obviously, as a backing guitarist in a folk session or a band, you're kind of filling out the low end. You're one of the main low end instruments. The rhythm players are at the bottom of the frequency spectrum, and the melody is going to be up the top floating around. So you maybe don't want to put too much high end, too many high frequencies into your backing, because then it's going to drown out the violins, the tin whistles. You'll never drown out a bagpipe player, but you might drown out a whistle. So yeah, the root notes and the lower end of your strum is the most important. You may hear people talk about single jigs, double jigs and slides. A single jig is in 6/8 and so is a double jig, so you might be wondering what the difference is between them. A single jig basically is a tune that goes da da diddly, and a double jig is a tune that does something more like diddly 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 diddly. So it's usually that the first note in a jig that's a single jig is a longer note than the others, a crotchet at the beginning followed by 4 quavers, or a crotchet, a quaver, a crotchet, a quaver. Whereas a double jig is just 6 quavers in every bar. Really, for the backing guitarist, there's no difference. You don't have to worry about it. You can back both with da-da diddly, no problem. Slides are also in 6/8. They're rather different though. Slides are popular in the southwest of Ireland. They are to a jig what a polka is to a reel in a way. They're like a jig but faster and a lot more tum 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 tum. They sound like they're, you know, some sort of officious business person who's late for a meeting. You can back a slide with the da-da diddly pattern, but you have to reflect the Humpty Tumpty nature of them in how you play it. Let's look at the structure of jigs a little bit then. In all Irish tunes, you usually have an A part and a B part, and generally speaking, both of those will repeat. Some tunes also have a C part, maybe even a D part, and if they're really excessive, then an E part as well. That's unusual because it's the kind of music people play drunk, and generally if they've got that many parts, by the time they get to the last one, they've forgotten how the first one went. So an A part and a B part is the standard format, maybe more. Let's have a look at an example. Let's do that Out on the Ocean jig that I played at the start. So in this tune there are 8 bars in the A part, and then the A part repeats. So here they are: bar number 1, bar number 2, bar number 3, bar number 4, bar number 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's all of the A part. Then it repeats itself exactly the same. The B part is the same deal, so you've got 8 bars and a repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again. So yeah, it's 2 sections of 8 bars and each one repeats twice. Sometimes the last bar of the section will be different on the repeat, either to lead into the next section or just to make the tune sound finished. For the guitarist, that's not important. You just need to remember that a bar has 2 foot taps in it, 6 quavers, and that there are 16 bars in each section. If you're looking for a nice way to end a section of your tune, or to strum something at the end of the tune that makes it sound finished, you might like to learn the Diddlydum. The Diddlydum is down, up, down, and then a kind of emphasised upstroke and a little karate chop at the end. So I'll show you what that sounds like. Like that. That takes the place of the last bar of the section or the tune. So you'd be going along da da diddly da da diddly da da diddly diddly chop. So yeah, it's a really nice way to finish the tune off. It's down, up, and then a little karate chop. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed learning this pattern with me. If you could hit the subscribe button, that really helps me out. You'll get all my free tutorial content straight to your inbox as well. You can also find everything I know about how to back folk music condensed into one easy to follow book for beginners. That is down there. It's an ebook. It's also available in Amazon on paperback. Just search Backing Guitar Techniques for Traditional Celtic Music and you'll find it on there. I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but it's really good and you should go and get it. If you're looking for other videos to help you learn how to back Irish, Scottish, etc. music, check out the related videos that I've got linked here or the rest of my channel. As always, happy playing, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.